Advice number 1 is focus on the moment. Anxiety is basically taking you into the future, because that's what it does. The string of thoughts comes and you just always think, oh, what's going to happen, what do you need to do in this situation, in that situation, and so forth. So when that happens, just reel yourself back into the present. You can reel yourself back into the present by using 2 methods. The first one is by being mindful, and you can use the 555 method, and that basically means when the string of thoughts comes and floods your mind and you find yourself going into the future, just be mindful and start making a list of 5 things you touch, 5 things you see, and 5 things you sense or smell, whatever you want. And what this does is basically it brings you back into the present moment, it brings you back into your body, and it just cuts off that string of thoughts. You can also use the 5-second rule, and that's not the one where you drop things on the ground and you can eat them because you pick them up after 5 seconds. Is the one that the brilliant Mel Robbins came up with. And what this is you count when you find yourself into that moment, you stop and you count yourself back from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And what this does, again, it just cuts off that string of thoughts and brings your mind and yourself and everything brings back to the present moment. And if you want to find out more information about the 5-second rule, there is the book that Mel Robbins wrote, and I strongly recommend that you check that out. The second advice that I can give you is to breathe deeply. So breathe into your stomach, basically. So how you can do that is various methods you can do that. You can breathe through the nose and out through the mouth, and that's easier. You can breathe through the nose all the time if you want. Also, what you can do is you can breathe by counting into your head. So let's say you breathe for 4, so you count for 4 into your head. And then you exhale for 5, so you count for 5 into your head. Also, another way you can do this is you can put a hand on your tummy and a hand on your chest and not on the microphone, and you breathe. And when you breathe, you need to feel your tummy expanding, so basically pushes your hand forward. And when you exhale, you need to feel your tummy going in almost like it goes and touches your spine. And you do this a few times, as many times as you need. And again, especially if you suffer from panic attacks, this is a wonderful thing to do. Advice number 3 is to meditate. I know this is very popular right now, but it's a thing that's been around for ages and centuries, not a new thing. It's been brought forward much more now because it's helping so much with things like this, especially with anxiety. So what meditation does is, again, it brings you into the present, and also what it does, it makes you realize that there's noises around you, that's fine. It makes you realize that everything passes. So for instance, when I started meditating the first time, I had it in my head that I shouldn't have any thoughts. I should be like the Dalai Lama, just floating in the air and being all zen. That's not how it works, especially if you just started. So you will have the thoughts, your mind will wander, because that's what it does. But one meditation is, it will make you aware of that, and the recommendation is to just see your thoughts like traffic passing in front of you, or like anything just passing in front of you. Just, you can visualize anything you want, and even the background noise, if there's noise around you, and your body, if there's any tension in your body, all these things, when you meditate, you just notice and you let them go. Advice number 4 is to relabel your thoughts. Thoughts are very important because they define our actions, and our actions define ourselves. But especially when you suffer from anxiety, the way we think about certain things is very damaging, or it can be very damaging to us. So My advice here is to reframe the way you think about certain things. For instance, if you're scared of flying, then try not to think that you're scared of flying, and reframe that in you're enthusiastic of flying. Also, you can think of positive things that will happen, because I know from experience, especially when you suffer from anxiety, unfortunately the majority of your thoughts are negative thoughts, because that's what makes you anxious. It's scary, it's normal. You think of bad things that might happen, and that's normal, and that's the way we should be, because it's how we preserve ourselves. It's how the human species has managed to live as far as we have until now. So it's normal. But anxiety is an exaggerated way of fear, because you only think of negative things. So when you go into reframing your thoughts, what you do is think of positive things. So again, I'm going to go back to the example of flying. And for instance, don't think of the negative things that may happen. And I'm not going to give you examples because I'm sure you have a lot. Just think of the positive that might happen. Like after the flight is over, because as we mentioned earlier, everything is passing. So even that scary experience is going to pass. And then something exciting is going to happen. Nice stuff are going to happen. You're going to be on holiday, or you're going to see loved ones. You're going to see new places. Exciting things are going to happen. Advice number 5 is to keep yourself busy all the time. And again, what this is meant to do is to bring yourself into the present. And it's really important when we keep ourselves busy to focus and bring our mind and our complete attention to what we do. Because if we do stuff, we keep ourselves busy, but we still think of the future, of the negative things that might happen, then we are still going to get really anxious. But the point of keeping ourselves busy is to take the mind from those negative things, from that chain of thoughts, and bring you into the present, into what you are doing at that moment. And that's again a bit of mindfulness, because you have to be mindful of everything that you are doing. Advice number 6 is to move your body. And if you look anywhere on the internet, if you talk to any specialist on this subject, they will tell you this. It's really important to move your body, because our bodies are made to be moved. They're not made to sit in front of the computer. They're not made to sit on the sofa and watch the TV. They are made to move. And I'm not telling you to go to the gym or start running a marathon or whatever. I'm just telling you to move. So go out for a walk in nature. Do something that is enjoyable for you and that keeps you moving. Even cleaning the house, if you like doing that, yeah, that's moving your body, because you are moving, you're not steady. Advice number 7 is to get rid of the clutter. Have you ever heard the expression clutter house, clutter mind? That is very true, especially in this case, because if you have a lot of clutter around you, believe you me, that will make you very anxious. So if you don't believe me, from all these advices that I'm giving you today, take just this one and declutter at least the space that you use mostly in the day. Let's say your office, your desk. Declutter that, stay in it for a couple of days, see how you feel, and get back to me. Advice number 8 is to take care of what you put in your body. This is important in general, not just when you suffer from anxiety, but especially if you suffer from anxiety. It's really important to take care of what we eat and drink. And I am referring here to 2 culprits that are actually very bad if you suffer from anxiety. And the first one is caffeine, the second one is sugar. If you suffer from anxiety, try to avoid those 2, because what they will do is they will make you much more anxious, because they will create this agitation in your body, a constant agitation. And if you also suffer from panic attacks, that might actually trigger panic attacks. So if you like caffeine, I'm not saying don't have it, don't have your cup of coffee in the morning or whenever you need it, but just have one and try not to have 5 or 10, because especially if you suffer from anxiety, that will be very damaging to you. Advice number 9 is to lavender up. And what I mean by this is to use lavender, and especially essential oils lavender. You guys know how much I love essential oils, and I had to mention one of the greatest ones, which is lavender, because it has so many amazing properties. But when it comes to anxiety, it's the bomb, because it will make you calm. It will bring the calm back where, for instance, coffee and sugar will not. If you love essential oils and you suffer from anxiety, I suggest that you do a bit of research, because some of them might stimulate you and might have a different effect than what you wish to achieve. But lavender will definitely not. And advice number 10, and the last one, and I might have kept the best for last, is to have a good quality sleep. Having a good quality sleep is really important in general, and you guys know how much I drone about this. If you watched my previous videos, you know I'm really eager about this, because when you do a bit of more research of what sleep does to you and how many great benefits it has for your body, you will not want to go back, and you will be in the sleep corner as I am. Having a good quality sleep is not sleeping a lot, is sleeping good quality time. So sleeping between the hours that you need to sleep, sleeping in an environment that will encourage that deep sleep, that is healing for your body, and that will help you brace the day without anxiety. Okay, my darlings, that was all. I do hope that this video will be useful to you, especially if you suffer from anxiety. I am a person who suffers from anxiety, and every time when that little monster that is called anxiety creeps his head out, I just punch him with these 10 things that I enumerated to you. And I hope that if you suffer from anxiety, these 10 advices will help you as much as they helped me. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody that suffers from anxiety, give it a share. Let them have these advices that will help them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and click on that ring bell button so you get notified every time when I upload a new video. And also, don't forget to love yourself and love life with everything that it has to offer. Bye bye.